There was an article in the Chattanooga Times Free Press newspaper recently about how high school football coaches in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, southern states, basically, like 32 of them, all said prayer is a part of football practice. It's part of the football culture in high school, by the way. And what they were basically saying is that prayer and a team prayer is just a part of their daily routine. It's what they do to prepare for football games on Friday nights. And that's stunning to me because there is no reason any high school coach, even if they are religious, they should not be preaching or, pushing their faith onto their students when they are working for the public school that they're in. If they want prayer to become a part of a football game or a part of a practice session or a team, bonding activity, go work at a private Christian school. That's what they're there for. But when you work at a public school, why don't you focus on the football team and how the skills they can get to get better? And if the students want to pray on their own, they are more than welcome to. No one is going to stop them from doing that. But these coaches were saying, I'm a Christian, so, I want to make sure my boys are Christian. Like, that is not just wrong, it's illegal. And they're just proud of it. They're saying, this is what we do here. It's the way it is, and you can't stop us. Well, yeah, we can, and we can with a lawsuit, and I'm sure those are forthcoming. But here's what scares me, because I don't really care about the coaches. I care about the students. And if you're a student on any of those football teams, and you are not a Christian, or you're a Christian who, believes in separation of church and state, you don't really get a choice here. You are basically coerced into joining these prayers. And these coaches all say it may be a student-led prayer, or, everyone wanted to do it, and that's why we have these prayers. Like, no, that's not really the case, because if you are one of those, the few players who says, I don't want to do this. But what if you're the only one on the team who says, I don't want to be a part of this prayer circle? What's going to happen to you? That's a legitimate concern if you're a player on this team. Is the coach going to put me in the game because I didn't want to pray with them? Am I going to get practice time? Am I going to get minutes in the game? Am I going to be called in, during a pressure situation? Catherine Stewart, who wrote this book called The Good News Club, she said it so well. She said, I'm paraphrasing here, a lot of these kids know the locker room is no place for dissent, and they know that you basically have to pray to play. And that is not the situation high school students need to be put in. I'm an atheist and I coach a team at the public high school I work at. I would never dream of telling my students, don't pray before a big tournament because God's not going to help you. Your skills have to help you. Like, why would I do that? It's not about me. It's not about pushing my beliefs onto the kids. They do what makes them ready for a game and what makes them comfortable. That's what a good coach ought to do. And yet 32 coaches don't know the first rule of how to be a good coach, which is, you give the students the tools they need to succeed, and then you step out of the way and let them do it. I can't believe they're just willingly admitting that for them, their faith and their working at a public school, those things can't be separated. They're asking for a lawsuit, and I hope it comes because they deserve it. My name is Hemant Mehta. I write for friendlyatheist.com, and we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and become part of this discussion.